The visitor feel right at home.
Corpses can't talk!
We laughed the whole week, and everything they were asking us to do made us laugh. And it was just, it was delightful. I really enjoyed it so much.
And dancing came out of it with a souvenir.
Did you get to keep the cowboy hat?
Yes,
we did, yes.
yes, we do. We have it. We have it because our granddaughters, I knew, would get a kick out of it, and they did.
Mr. Mayor fans get their kicks tonight.
I don't like who I am.
Mark Barker, NBC News.
Well, do you need a job and love to eat tacos? Oh boy, this might be the perfect fit for you. Texas delivery service Favor Delivery is paying someone $10,000 this summer to travel around the Lone Star State to test tacos and tell people about them.
Sounds pretty great.
Yeah.
Job perks include free food,
Gets better.
accommodations and transportation in every city, and massages.
What?
Yoga classes,
Yes.
plus free Favor Delivery for a year. Besides being a taco lover, anyone who applies has to live in Texas, though, and be at least 21 years old.
All right, so what does that
everyone's
do for
moving to
folks
Texas.
who live here in Tucson who love tacos?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Although I like the perks.
I do too.
All right, that's going to do it, folks. Stick around.
News 4 Tucson at 5 o'clock starts right now.
From KVOA, investigating for you. This is News 4 Tucson, live at 5.
A wildfire is burning dangerously close to the town of Bisbee.
Evacuation orders were in place due to the Lachlan fire, but this evening residents are returning home. We hear from those impacted and fire crews battling the blaze as the weather continues to fuel those flames. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Sean Mooney.
I'm Priscilla Casper. 50 homes were evacuated from 3 different streets in Old Bisbee.
People living on Lachlan Street were among those. The fire is named Lachlan because it is near that street where the fire started. We have live team coverage tonight. Lupita Murillo is live in Bisbee from St. Patrick's Church, where the Red Cross has set up a shelter.
And Eric Fink also on the ground for us in Bisbee with the latest on the fire investigation. But we begin with Lupita. Lupita, what's the latest right now?
Well, I can tell you the latest is since the American Red Cross shut down the shelter at St. Patrick's, we are no longer there. That is a place for the firefighters that are going to be using that. But I can't tell you that the American Red Cross told us that people from 4 different homes used the shelter last night. That shelter, as I've mentioned, has now been closed. However, one businessman tells us he was ready to use it if he had to.
Rick Fernandez is the co-owner of the gardens at Mile High Ranch, a bed and breakfast located at the bottom of the hill of Wood Canyon Road, one of the streets that was evacuated. Fernandez is among the lucky ones, along with his guests that didn't have to evacuate, although he says it was very frightening watching the flames shoot up from his backyard.
We were up till 3 o'clock watching it because we had guests here. We had to make sure that if there was any kind of alert or danger or spreading, that we would let our guests know so they could evacuate immediately.
You were lucky. You didn't have to.
We didn't have to. We got the ready set, but not the go. So we were all ready to, in case we needed to.
As I mentioned, the Red Cross has shut down that shelter. It is now set up for firefighters coming up at 6. What the Red Cross provided for those who needed shelter. Reporting live from Bisbee, Lupita Murillo, News 4 Tucson.
Thank you, Lupita. And there have been several fires in the Bisbee area over the last few weeks, stretching resources and putting homeowners on edge.
And we're going to continue our live team coverage with News 4 Tucson's Eric Fink live in Bisbee with more of what residents are dealing with right now. Eric.
Yeah, Priscilla, Sean, this is the 5th fire here in Bisbee since March. The cause of the Lachlan fire right now is under investigation. Fire crews believe it is human caused at this 5 o'clock hour. As a spokesman with the Arizona Department of Forestry says more than 100 firefighters, both on the air and on the ground, are fighting this. Firefighters saying that the fire is estimated at 58 acres right now. There is no containment. Crews with several departments from across the state are here. Helicopters are dropping water on the flames. Crews are concerned today about the winds and the hot temperatures. We spoke with one resident just a few minutes ago who lives just down the hill from where the fire started last night. She was in the evacuation zone.
We chose not to evacuate. We did put sprinklers in the back of the house and just kept an eye on the fire every hour. And we're very happy to see when the firefighters arrived and we could see their lights up there, so we knew they told us that they were going to make a break, hopefully so the fire would not jump over. But we were very concerned it was going to come down.
And again, evacuation orders were lifted about an hour ago. Everyone who was evacuated can now return home. We will be at a media briefing coming up at 6 o'clock with firefighters at Bisbee High School. We will bring you the very latest on this fire then. We're live in Bisbee tonight. I'm Eric Fink, News 4, Tucson.
And other fires to worry about in the northern part of the state. Fire crews are making some progress on the tunnel fire. This one is burning about 14 miles northeast of Flagstaff. We're told it has burned more than 21,000 acres. At last check, it is 20% contained. More than 400 firefighters are battling the blaze. It ignited on April 17th, and there is still no word on what caused that fire. And about 10 miles south of Prescott, the Crooks fire continues to burn. It has scorched a little more than 6,400 acres, they tell us. Right now, it is 16% contained. More than 746 fire crews are out in front of that fire trying to knock it down. The cause of the blaze is still under investigation. Matt.
6 o'clock last night, we told you there was about a 2% chance of hitting 100 degrees today in the city of Tucson. I talked to the National Weather Service. They said they were looking at their products this morning at 8 a.m. with a 0% chance of hitting 100 degrees. Today is ice break, guys. Can you believe it? We broke the ice at 12:55 officially. So congratulations to the winner, whoever that might be. We are still sifting through our index of all the applicants that played. And we will get you that answer, or we know the answer, obviously. We'll get you the winner who guessed correctly soonest for the grand prize. We'll go into more details about the ice break. But first, with all the fires out there, let's talk about the winds. And you know what? Things are looking pretty decent today. We're anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. That's about the extent of it. So that's certainly good on the wind front. What's going to happen with time? All right, we're seeing some breezes, yes, this afternoon. But as we make our way into the 11 o'clock hour, most of those breezes really abating substantially. Early tomorrow morning, not much in the way of wind. But yes, tomorrow during the afternoon hours, especially into Cochise and Graham and Greenlee County, maybe Santa Cruz, we'll see those winds anywhere from 20 possibly to 25 miles per hour in the form of gusts. So no red flag warnings, but please exercise your good fire behavior. Let's head outside. It's 97 last check at Tucson International Airport, 16 in the dew point. The other interesting thing is, as far as I know, we'll check this officially, Phoenix did not break the ice while Tucson did, and I'm trying to do some intel right now to find out if and when the last time that has happened. Been a long time. Hasn't happened in my day here. 95 Rita Ranch, 94 Marana. It's currently 86 degrees down in Sonoyta. It's 82 in Bisbee. And let's talk about the plan for tonight. Partly cloudy at 7 o'clock. Despite the fact we hit 100 degrees by 7, 87, we'll take that. 78, clearing skies by 9 o'clock. And I think by 11 o'clock, it's mostly clear with the temperature of 71 degrees. So, yes, another ceremonious event today, occurrence in Tucson weather. That one's gone. So what's the next one? I guess we'll have to start looking forward to monsoon 2022, which officially starts. I can give you an exact date. 49 days. We'll talk about that more in depth when I see you back here in a few minutes.
All right. Thank you, Matt. New at 5, Clarence Dixon, the first prisoner set to be executed in Arizona in nearly 8 years, has filed for clemency. His attorneys argue it's to protect his rights after a judge threw out their challenge last week. The challenge stated the Arizona Clemency Board violated state law by having more than 2 members serve from the same profession. Dixon's clemency hearing is set for Thursday. He was convicted and sentenced to death for the killing of a 21-year-old ASU student in 1978. His execution is scheduled for May 11th. And 3 men are behind bars tonight in connection to a deadly shooting that happened back on April 15th near Oracle and Fort Lowell. Tucson police say 28-year-old Darius Barrett, 19-year-old King Rugamba, and Malik Ford shot 19-year-old Marcel Reddick and another person during an attempted robbery. Reddick died at the hospital. The second victim is still in serious condition. All 3 men arrested are facing first-degree murder charges.
The U.S. Supreme Court heard arguments on a Trump-era policy today that forces asylum seekers to wait in Mexico before being granted a hearing in U.S. immigration court. From late January 2019 until President Joe Biden suspended the Remain in Mexico policy, nearly 70,000 people were shuttled back to Mexico. A judge recently ordered the administration to reinstate it, but they argue the policy is discretionary and can be ended. But some states say it's the only way to prevent a massive surge of migrants at the border once that policy expires. And Vice President Kamala Harris has tested positive for COVID-19, but her office says she's not experiencing any symptoms. She has not been around President Joe Biden, they tell us, or the First Lady since an Easter event on April 17th. Harris is fully vaccinated and has been boosted twice. She's expected to work from home while she recovers.
A street painting project on Tucson's south side over the weekend is facing concerns from some residents who are looking back at the controversy over two opposing messages painted on city streets that the News 4 Tucson investigators showed you 2 years ago. Chorus Nylander joining us live from 12th and Irvington with more tonight. Chorus.
Well, Priscilla, the city art project spans for about a mile, stretching from 12th Avenue in Irvington, where we are right now, to Drexel. There's more to it than meets the eye, and it's not without some controversy tonight. It's an effort to add a little color to Tucson's south side while also improving safety for cyclists and pedestrians. News 4 Tucson was there as a large group of volunteers joined city leaders and the Department of Transportation and Mobility over the weekend to bring it all to life. The city says the paint represents where future green infrastructure will go.
You know, there's so much more that we wanted to show the community, that, you know, we can bring them together and help beautify the area while we're waiting to bring the green stormwater infrastructure.
Ward 1 council member Lane Santa Cruz spearheaded this effort. She says the work done over the weekend cost taxpayers around $10,000.
Pennies compared to what these roadway projects typically cost.
But not everyone is so happy about the project.
It was disheartening.
Tim Cicilline is no stranger to City Hall or us. He tried suing the city after revoking a permit he had to paint a thin blue line mural outside Tucson Police Headquarters in 2020. After the city allowed a BLM mural to be painted downtown using taxpayer dollars, he feels this latest project is hypocritical.
My feeling is that the mayor and council, they do what they want and they twist things the way they want in order to get their agenda pushed.
We asked Santa Cruz about his concerns. She says this project is much different than what he was trying to create.
There's a huge difference. You know, this is around creating safety, a visibility around infrastructure that's still needed in that area. And so it's meeting a different need and it has a different goal than trying to make a political statement.
And Cicilline's lawsuit against the city was recently dismissed. Council member Santa Cruz says this paint here is only temporary, will soon be replaced with trees and other green infrastructure as this project moves forward and gets completed. The timeline of that, not clear at this point, but the city says they hope to have that done within the next 2 years. We're live from the south side tonight. Chorus Nylander, News 4 Tucson.
Chorus, coming up on News 4 Tucson at 5, the latest on Russia's invasion into Ukraine as the U.S. pledges more support for people on the front lines.
And later, new video released showing the moment after a shooting on the movie set Rust that shocked the nation. Keep it here. News 4 Tucson at 5 will be right back.
News 4 Tucson Skynet is sponsored by Jim Click Automotive Team.
More support is headed to Ukrainians on the front lines.
The U.S. and other NATO allies are promising more ammunition and weapons in the fight against Russia.
Russian officials are warning the support could lead to, quote, World War III as the use of nuclear weapons on the ground continue to grow. After meeting with leaders from 40 countries today, the U.S. Secretary of Defense said the mission is to strengthen Ukraine and weaken Russia.
But we don't have any time to waste. The briefings today laid out clearly why the coming weeks will be so crucial for Ukraine. So we've got to move at the speed of war.
U.S. officials also say diplomats are now on the ground in Ukraine and moving forward with plans to reopen the American embassy in Kyiv. And stay with us, we're coming right back.
My understanding, you were in the room when someone was shot?
holding the gun, yeah.
Okay, alrighty.
Authorities in Mexico and New Mexico released a large amount of material related to the deadly October shooting on the set of the movie Rust. Cinematographer Helena Hutchins was killed after actor and producer Alec Baldwin fired a prop gun. The Santa Fe Sheriff's Office released crime scene photos, set videos, and staff photos. Also a witness interview with Baldwin himself shortly after that shooting took place. The DA says it will not issue any charges until the full investigation is done.
And millions are taking to the skies in what airlines say could be their most profitable summer ever. Well, there's one big problem. A nationwide pilot shortage. The lack of pilots is leading to delays, flight cancellations, and even grounded fleets. American Airlines recently announcing they've started using buses to ferry passengers from smaller airports in the Northeast to their hub in Philadelphia, where more pilots are available. Some airlines are also training future pilots themselves.
It's an addition of different things. Pilot retiring, the pandemic. So now just to train the new pilots is going to take a long time.
There are an estimated 14,000 openings for commercial pilots over the next 8 years. And a warning tonight about air quality as wildfire season ramps up. The Pima County Department of Environmental Quality says wildfires lead to an increase in ground level ozone and fine particulate matter air pollution. Experts say people who are sensitive may experience shortness of breath, coughing, throat irritation, and should limit their time outdoors. Meanwhile, if you are outside today this afternoon at a certain minute.
That's
Sorry,
right.
I'm doing some stuff.
You're still working. I know.
Done.
The ice broke.
No, we know we broke the ice, but this was really interesting. We had to go back in history, got some help from the National Weather Service. Phoenix did not break the ice. Tucson did.
What?
Yeah. So
didn't
only
happen in Phoenix.
twice has it happened since 1940 that Tucson has broken the ice before Phoenix. It happened in 1944, and it did happen, I vaguely remember this, in 1995.
Wow.
And then in 1943, 51, all the way through 57, and 1977, we actually tied.
All right.
So
Rarely-
it's infrequent.
Yeah, rarely are we ever hotter.
Right.
Phoenix.
And I mean, they always break the, I shouldn't say always, 2 times. In fact, we broke the ice before they did. All right, thanks to the National Weather Service in Tucson for that tidbit. But yes, 12:55 extra, read all about it. That was when the ice officially broke on the banks of the Santa Cruz River here in the city of Tucson. So I guess that contest is done. I'm glad we started it early because, boy, it happened early. In fact, the 3rd earliest ice break on record. Today's average high temperature, just 85 degrees. So not only was it record heat, we broke the ice. That was 15 degrees above average. And here's a list of the last several years I just quickly put together. Really as early as April 26th. I think that's the earliest one we've seen in the last several years. We had April 29th in 2020. And remember, 2020 is that very hot year. Let's hope there's no correlation with that. That was the year that we hit 100 degrees on like 108 different occasions. And it's happened as late as June, as you can see, on several years as well. So let's do some triple-digit tracking this year. Now, one occurrence we've hit 100 degrees should be at 0. Yearly average, we do it 68 times, and there's that 2020. We hit it in April. I don't want to scare you. I'm not saying there is a correlation, but the last time we had the ice break in April is when we had 108 occurrences, but I'm not looking at any more triple-digit heat temperatures in the forecast. Here you have it, hottest statewide, Tucson 100. Didn't happen in Yuma, didn't happen in Phoenix, didn't happen in Gila Bend, Casa Grande. So yes, we take top honors with regards to the heat. All right, we'll turn the page, talk a little bit about the winds. Again, not too robust, 24 mile per hour. That's the strongest currently in Nogales. And even those winds in Nogales come down by 11 o'clock tonight. So we're really not looking at critical fire danger. However, every day is a critical fire danger day, right? Just because we don't have those red flag warnings yet. We could see some more of those hoisted over the course of the next several days. Tomorrow, some afternoon breezes. That's going to be the extent of it. And one also interesting thing we're following is some good signs of preliminary monsoon moisture right here across northern sections of Mexico. I think just to the south of El Paso could see some thunderstorms. We talked last night about the slight chance of seeing a dry thunderstorm in eastern Cochise County. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Didn't think it would happen, but we are seeing that moisture starting to creep a little bit closer. It's 97 at the airport, south winds at 11 miles per hour, and mostly into the mid-90s. The airport is the hot spot right now. 96 in Phoenix, Ajo 92. It's 82 currently in Bisbee, and it looks like we'll see those skies clearing out by 11 o'clock, 71 degrees. We should be mostly clear by that point in time. Cloud cover does decrease, as you can see, as we make our way into our Wednesday, so it's going to be a bright, sunny Wednesday, and temperatures will certainly be not triple-digit. Mid-50s to upper 50s for nighttime lows, lower 90s for daytime highs. Tomorrow, west winds 5 to 15 miles per hour into Cochise and Santa Cruz County. Sunny, a little bit breezier for sections south and east of the city of Tucson. Could see those gusts to 30 miles per hour. Just heads up for that in your extended forecast. Fair day tomorrow for KVOA at the Pima County Fair. I will be there live. Come down and say hello. 92. Breezy on Thursday, back down to the upper 80s, near 90, but mid 80s on Friday. And then we level things out into the low 90s Saturday through Tuesday, which is a few degrees above average, but certainly we've already broken the ice. So now we can look forward to our next big thing on the weather calendar here across southeastern Arizona. And that, of course, will be the monsoon, which officially I can guarantee will start in exactly 49 days. Back to you.
No more triple digits.